Are you struggling with what to do in the gym? Watch this video to build your workout plan. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Vincent Jackson, and this is Workout Your Faith with VJack40. Excited about this video. Want to make a quick video on how to build a workout program. So a lot of issues I see with people is when they finally start their gym journey, they don't realize what they need to do or how many days they need to go, which I get it is a little alarming or it can be tough at times. So here are 5 different things you need to think about when it comes to you and your gym journey. The first one is your goal. Are you focusing on building muscle? Are you focusing on body fat going down, losing weight? Any of those things, like what is your actual plan in the gym? Now you can also focus on doing both as well, focusing on an actual body recomp. That's when you're building muscle and losing fat at the same time. Definitely possible. For people who are new, you'll see it a lot more than somebody who's like really experienced, but it's definitely possible both ways with nutrition. So for instance, let's say something like fat loss. So now we're gonna look at like nutrition, making sure you're getting a certain amount of protein, but you might be on a deal where you need to get like 12,000 steps a day. So what I would have you do is I would have you, as soon as you get to the gym, you're gonna get on the treadmill and get like steps in. So maybe we'll do 3,000 steps in before you start your workout, or maybe 4,000 or whatever that is, to where you're able to get a certain amount of steps in and then go work out and then get more steps in after. But let's say it's strictly muscle gain. You're really trying to just focus on building muscle. Like you're not necessarily worried about fat or worried about losing body fat. You're worried about gaining weight so you can get muscle. What we'll do then is when we get into the gym, we'll maybe just warm up, maybe get on the treadmill for like 5 minutes, and then you'll focus on your workout and then get steps in after. And then you got to think about, okay, now I'm about to start my workout. What can I do and what can't I do? So what I mean by that is some people have like hurt body parts, or maybe their knees they have a hurt knee or a lower back issue, something in that regard. So it's like maybe I can't squat for the foreseeable future, but I can do a leg extension. I can do like leg presses. So that's something to think about. Or let's say their lower back is hurting and they've had a lower back issues for a while. Okay, we can't do like a certain like hinge movement at that moment, but we'll work on get on like a lower back machine so we can build that muscle. So those are things we need to think about when it comes to the goal part of stepping into the gym. The second thing we need to think about when it comes to going into the gym is our movement patterns. And we hit on that a little bit with the first point, but can we squat? Can we hip hinge? Can we do an overhead push? Can we do a vertical push? Overhead pull, like a row? And then you need to look at like, how's your rotation with your hips? Like, can you carry, like stuff that is more dynamic based, athletic based? So let's say everything is good, my body feels great, I'm ready to get going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on all those certain movements and scattering them through that week of training. So let's say you're doing like 4 days a week of training. You might have like a push, pull, leg, and then maybe like an arm day. So we'll focus on those certain movements. So like on your pull day, for cardio at the end, we might have you do like the row machine for 10 to 15 minutes. Or let's say on your leg day, at the end of it, we'll do the sled where you're pushing the sled and pulling the sled. What that's gonna do is that's gonna really build your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, all the above, and you'll be able to get your cardio in that way. So it's really important that you can do those basic movements because you want to make sure your body's healthy. If you have a certain injury or there's something going on, that's one thing. But let's say you just don't want to do something, you don't want to squat or you don't want to hinge, that's different. So what I would do is, let's say, and I've been a creature with this too. A lot of people, they don't like the squat movement, especially as you get older. It can get a little tough. So what I would do, instead of just getting on a barbell squat and squatting till you drop, we would just do like an actual body squat, just getting comfortable with the movement. And then as you go and progress with that, maybe we add a ball in your hand to where you can actually hold it like a medicine ball. So where it's like a weighted ball that maybe is 15, 20 pounds, or even just 10 pounds, whatever that may be, so you can get comfortable with doing that movement. And we would do that for the foreseeable future, just so you can get comfortable with it. And then once you get comfortable with doing that movement, now we might move to something like a leg press or like a machine-based movement that you're still doing some form of a push with your legs, but it's now we're focusing on building that actual muscle with weights. And then eventually we'll get to a form where we can do like actual squatting with weights. The third thing we need to think about is how are we going to progress in the gym? So this topic of progressive overload has been talked about for years now. And honestly, there's so many different things you can do when it comes to progressive overloading, which in my opinion is great because it's not just like a one size fits all. You can do what you like to do. The biggest thing is thinking about how can I progress from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 and keep going through the training block while you're progressing. So 4 different ways that you can progressively overload is your form, adding more weight, shorter rest time, and then like reps. So for instance, with the weight, let's say you do 50 pounds 50-pound dumbbells on the bench press. You do get 10 reps. Cool. We did that for like 3 sets of 10. Now what I'm gonna do is that next week is that last set of 10, I'm gonna see if I can get 12. So now I'm progressing more when it comes to my actual training thing that I'm doing. Boom. Let's say you get 12, you're good to go. Now, instead of doing 50, we might move to 55s. But the thing is, when you move up, you got to think about your reps are going to drop. So now that 10, 10, 12 of 3 sets of 10, and then that last one 12, it might be a deal where it's like 10, 10, like 7. So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to really focus on trying to build that 10, 10, 10 mark to when you get to that last set of 10, okay, now can I push it a little bit more to where I've mastered that 3 sets of 10. So what I just explained is that's called a double progression where you're doing 2 different things. So you're doing weight and reps. That's something I like to do with certain movements. I have my own unique style of progressive overloading that it fits me because I like to train with intensity. I don't like to do too many sets. I like to more so focus on the small amount of sets that I do have, working on intensity with that. So, like I said, you have to figure out what works best for you. Some people like rest time, where it's like let's say you're squatting and you're doing 3 sets of 8 with 300 pounds, and in between those sets, you have a 3-minute rest break. So then after that, once you get to that 3 minutes, if you've gotten 3 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 10, whatever that progression scheme is, and you master that, now instead of doing 3 minutes, we might do 2.5 minutes. So you see how you're dropping it, and you're giving yourself like less rest to where like you're gonna still be tired. Can you progress with that? The thing about being in the gym is that there's so many different things that you can do, but I will say the biggest thing that you need to focus on is progressive overloading. Once you finally figure out what you want to do in the gym, your nutrition, all that, if you get in the gym and you're just doing the same things over and over, it's not going to be good for you. You're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to be able to move the needle. You're not going to see the progression that you want. So the fourth thing that we want to focus on is frequency. So what I mean by that is how many times do I want to go to the gym versus how many times can I actually go to the gym. So you'll see it. A lot of people, they're very ambitious when they first start a gym. I want to go 5 times a week. I want to go 6 times a week. And although that sounds great, like you're going to burn out. So now what's going to happen is you're going to go 6 times a week for 2 or 3 weeks out of the 8-week block. And then those last 5 weeks, you're only going to go 3 or 4. So it just completely jacks up the workout program that we have. So my recommendation is starting on the lower end, especially if you're new. So I always say 3 days a week is perfect for everybody. You can get good gains with 2 days a week. There's been a lot of people, even like top bodybuilders, that have talked about only going to the gym for 2 days a week for a certain time period. But I personally feel like 3 days a week is like for most normal people is perfect. Perfect, because what you can do now is you can split your certain body parts up how you want it. So if you want to go 3 days a week of full body, you can do that. If you want to really focus on like your legs, building up your legs, you can go like a upper day, that middle day is lower, and then that third day is another lower day. So you can do like a lower, upper, lower, vice versa. If you want to work on upper body, you can go upper, lower, upper. So there's so many different ways to go about it. You know, if you want to go 4 days a week, you can go upper, lower, off, take the weekends off. If you want to go 5 days a week, there's just so many different like variables you can do with that. So for me, what I did last year for a while is I did an upper day, a lower day, and then I did a push day, pull day, leg day. So I took Wednesdays off and I took Sundays off. Earlier on when I was working out, I was going like 6 days a week. And honestly, if I had the time, I would still love to go 6 days a week. I think I can recover from that. But I also have found it better for when I do 5 days a week for my joints and my recovery. I know eventually I'm gonna probably have to go to 4 days a week just because with scheduling, with work, family, just life gets crazy. 4 days a week, 4 days a week will probably be better in the long run, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm not worried about that right now at this exact moment. So be real with yourself. How many days can you 100% commit going to the gym? Like I said, if you can do 3 days, do that. If you can only really commit 2 days to 2 days a week to the gym, that's fine. You will get tremendous gains from doing that. If you can do three, and obviously go from there. If you want to do 4, do it. If you're new, I'll probably stick with the 4 days and just go from there. But 3 to 4 days, perfect for you. Last point that I want to talk about, which we kind of hit on with this last one, is your weak points. So what I mean by that is like, what do you really want to grow? So you'll see a lot of people that say, hey Vince, I'll hear a lot of people say, hey Vince, I really want to grow my legs, or hey, I really want to grow my shoulders, or whatever that may be. I want to get bigger arms, whatever that may be. So that's valid. So I personally like that because I personally feel like if you have a goal, hey, I really want to build my back, that's going to get you in the gym more. You're going to have more motivation that's going to allow you to have discipline to do what you need to do. So I love the motivation. Discipline is like even showing up. Discipline, in my opinion, is more important. But if you're like, hey, I really want to focus on growing my legs, I'm really committed to it, that's going to give you the motivation to go to the gym. So overall, like that is a huge part, is like, where do you really want to see your improvement in? Or let's say it's like fat loss. Hey, I really want to lose 15 pounds. I really want to lose 20 pounds. We're still going to try and build muscle, because the more muscle you build, the more weight you will lose in the long run. Trust me, the research says it. But whatever that goal may be, whether it's fat loss, body recomp, or just trying to get jacked, all that's cool. You just got to have a clear-cut plan for, in my opinion, I feel like 12 weeks is like the ideal thing to do, is where you can fully commit to for 12 weeks and then take like a deload week and then reevaluate, see how your stuff is looking, see how your muscles are looking, see what your weight is saying, see, and if you're confident at looking yourself in the mirror. I like to tell people, hey, if you're new, take progression pictures. That first picture you take, I get it, like you might not want to, you might feel bad about yourself, but once again, that will give you more motivation to be able to take that next step. So I hope this helps you guys. Like, going to the gym is like a big passion of mine, and fitness has become a huge passion of mine as well. So I'm gonna start putting out these videos of just trying to help people fully understand like the mindset when it comes to going to the gym. So please like, subscribe, comment on these videos. Follow me on social media. My Instagram is vjack40. TikTok, I think, is the same thing. I'll put it in the description. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. Be safe.